go there. Okay. So consider a situation. Okay. So you're heading a company. Okay, and you have to justify the ROI of gratitude. How would you go about doing it? Or how give anybody a framework? Okay, so they have to justify the ROI.
For the gratitude thing?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So if I was going to go direct, direct into the place that I think has the most probability of releasing funds for something like this, it's going to be turnover in the sales organization, in the B2B sales organization, and then turnover overall. So, the assessment would be done different ways, right? Like there's a lot of different solutions, but getting to mine and what's different. Look, you have a Mr. CFO, Mr. and Mrs. head of HR and sales. You guys have an attrition problem. It's costing the company a lot of money. What are we going to do to fix it? How much is it going to cost, right? So they've already identified the problem, right? And they know they need to put money in it. The question is then going to be what kind of programs out there would help our leaders and employees have better relationships, right? And then there's a million choices, and mine stands out because no one does it quite like this. But it's like, all right, guys, you are going to spend some money. All right. What we need is a way to kick this off. We need a way to build a practice into the structure of the organization when people are emailing, when they're having meetings. We need to have an expectation of looking differently at the world. We need to learn to practice to look differently in the world. And this is something we're going to commit to managing and measuring and doing. Now, I can't tell you that every time, it's not like a machine in a factory where like when we put in these plastic pellets, another one pops out and it's got this much margin. This is a more complicated scenario. If somebody really wants to do, some kind of deep over analytical analysis, they can do it. That's one kind of business case. Another one is we like the benefits. We believe in the benefits. We're comfortable with the costs. We're going in the right way. This is going to have a benefit. Then the last one I see people through is some CEO or leader goes, this is it. We're just going to do this. I know it in my gut. It's the right thing to do. Right. But it would start with, all right, what do you think needs to change between these sales leaders and these sales team? What are the behaviors in an assessment that are making people want to leave here? Let's look at those behaviors and let's see how we can change them. How do we actually re-engineer human behavior, right? As a coach with guidance, not just the communications. I put it to somebody this way the other day. They should teach a human in a relationship and in communication class to everyone from second grade all the way to college. We should have to have 1/4 of that, right? Could you imagine if people were more conscious and aware of the emotions with each other, how they make each other feel, and actually cared that person liked them, right? I mean, so again, whether it's my program or something else, it's like, okay, we got to have that attrition's got to go. And then how do you want to change a bunch of managers' behaviors? One thing I know, gratitude aside, the changing of the mindset, the changing, we hear about it in the world today with all this craziness going on about ideological things. Well, people believe and act on idealism. And so, hey, you're not allowed to have, we don't want anyone to ever feel like they have to leave this sales organization because the sales organization sucks. We got to change. That's hard. There's got to be driven from the top. It means being vulnerable and all that stuff. My approach takes a brain science way and a process to walk people through assessment. Let's be real, Yeah, it's like one of these things. It's like, I've got to have the opportunity to challenge you. How's your culture working? If you're having an issue, can you really say your culture's working? Okay. Okay. Have some honest conversations. But I mean, that's how I would go down the path of selling this. And You know, at the end of the day, is my car better than somebody else's car? But if
Yeah.
you want to stop attrition, at the end of the day, humans got to
Mhm.
like each other more. I think too, the number one reason people stay, or one
Mhm.
of the top reasons, is because they like the team. They like the people they're working with.
They're working. Yeah. Okay, great. So somebody who wants to go deeper on these topics. So obviously
We've gone pretty deep, man. We've gone pretty deep. Deeper.
even deeper.
Oh, you're
Even
making me think too hard. I'm glad I had some
yeah.
coffee.
No.
This is great though. I hadn't done one of these, by the way. Did you know that?
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. In fact, the first who reached out to me first?
maybe Vajiha or Sarah.
Yeah, I have to look it up.
Okay.
In any
Anyways.
event, I was working on the book, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
my god,